Hello and welcome to Allay Senior Home Care's Community Awareness Video Log. My name is Elton Lee and I'm the Managing Director of Allay Senior Home Care. The purpose of our video log is to bring awareness to the seniors and their families on various current issues and topics that may be educational and beneficial to them. These topics can range from fire safety, senior illnesses, and fall prevention, amongst many other topics. We do this by speaking with experts in their respective fields. We're very excited to have Moshe Schwartz join us today to talk about fitness and exercises for seniors. Moshe is a personal trainer and a fascial stretch therapist, as well as a owner-operator of Gentle Motion. Moshe, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Would you tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, and what your company does?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm a certified personal trainer. I also do something called fascial stretch therapy, and I'm the owner of a company called Gentle Motion. And what Gentle Motion is, it's an in-home training company that caters towards people who require a gentler approach to fitness. So we work a lot with seniors, we work a lot with people with chronic pain, pre and postnatal care, injury rehab, all kinds of things like that, and other conditions.
Okay. So then you provide mobile services then, right? You go to your clients' homes?
Yeah, so a lot of the people that we work with, it is a challenge for them to leave the house. So if I'm training somebody who's 87 years old, it's not that they can just run out at any point and get to their appointment. A new mother, for example, a lot of the time they want to stick to their baby schedule, so they don't want to go to the gym. It's a lot more convenient to just have somebody come to the house. And it creates kind of just as few disruptions as possible. So I've trained a lot of different ages. I've trained people in their 50s, 60s. The oldest person I've trained was 95. Something to consider though is that if you take, 63 years old, for example, that can mean so many different things when you're talking about an exercise program. Mm-hmm. So you can have somebody who's 63 and early onset dementia. That's going to be very different from someone who's 63. They're still working 50 hours at the office. They're very active in their children and grandchildren's life. And so even though we can talk in terms of age, and that's very important, certainly there are certain health risks associated with different ages. Right. But when I'm looking at somebody, I like to think in terms of function. What are they able to do, and what do they want to be able to do? So if you're 85 years old and you're having a hard time walking up and down stairs, then it's irrelevant how old you are. You can be 85, you might be 70 and have the same problem. So when I'm looking at somebody and I'm training them, one of the things I look at, yes, their age, which is important, but more importantly, function. What are they able to do, and what is it that they want to be able to do? Right.
So now, earlier you mentioned you have clients with dementia. So do you have different routines for clients with dementia, or another routine for clients without dementia?
Totally. So there are exercises that you can do that'll fire at basically improve your mental alertness. It can help with memory. New research is coming out saying that aerobic exercise as opposed to anaerobic exercise is better for brain function and maintaining your memory into your older age. That just means, when I say aerobic, what that means is doing exercises for a longer period of time, like a marathon, as opposed to anaerobic, which is more high intensity for a much shorter period of time, like a sprint. Okay. So absolutely, there are things that you can do that are more conducive to somebody with Alzheimer's as opposed to somebody who's fully functioning, and they might just have a different focus on their exercise program. 100%. Anytime you're working with anybody, and anytime, even if you're alone doing an exercise program, safety has to be the number one priority. So the first thing that I do when I meet somebody is it's called a PAR-Q, which is a physical activity readiness questionnaire. And it's just a series of about 8 questions that just make sure that there's no immediate health risks. Okay. After I do that, I'll put them through a couple of basic physical movements just so I can get a sense of how they move and if there's anything that needs to be addressed there, or if there's anything that we need to be careful of, and just make sure that, again, there's nothing immediate that needs to be taken care of, anything immediate, and no immediate health risks. If there is any red flags that I'm not sure if they should be exercising or not, I'll work with their family physician, I'll work with other health professionals in their network that they've been working with. Again, just to get direction if there's any movements they should be doing, if there's any movements they should not be doing, if there's any medications that might affect what exercises they can do or what positions they can be in. So absolutely there's a screening process. We want to make sure that as much as they've got their goals that they want to accomplish, first and foremost it's safety.
Right.
Thankfully, no. I mean, people understand that, that I've got, my concerns, and my concern is for their well-being. So people are generally pretty easy. If I say, do you know what, I don't feel comfortable exercising just yet, if you don't mind either getting me a note from your doctor or if I even call the clinic directly, people are usually pretty easy about that. And usually it's just it's not a matter of yes or no, you should be training. It's more a matter of, this is what you should be doing and these are some of the movements or exercises that you should be avoiding. So there's a few different things that I look for. Some of them are physical, some of them are mental or emotional, and some of them are just lifestyle factors. So when it comes to physical things that I look for, one of the things that I do is a squat test, for example. And when they're doing a squat, I look, are they leaning to the left? Are they leaning to the right? Do they look wobbly while they're doing it? Something that might happen when you're in your 70s, 80s, or 90s, if you take a fall, that's not a good thing. So anytime while I'm doing the physical assessment, while I'm doing the physical portion of the assessment, I'm looking for all these things to see if there are any red flags to make sure that we can avoid that situation. If I see they're a little bit wobbly, then I know when I put the program together, we want to work on balance. So that's the physical side. Mentally or emotionally, these are some things that I look for just to see how the person ticks. How do they get motivated? Are they self-motivated? If I give them something, do I know that they're going to run and do everything that I tell them? Are they somebody that I think needs a little bit more of a push from me? So little things like that. Obviously, if there is a mental health issue, I'll look for that, but generally they'll tell me that beforehand. And in terms of lifestyle, these are things that I look for. A lot of the time, things can be fixed just by tweaking your lifestyle. If somebody says to me that they're experiencing back pain and it comes up that they're in a car for 4 hours a day, there might be a relationship there. So as much as we're working together in our sessions, part of my job is also just to make sure that they're living their life in a way that promotes their best health.